Okay, so at the beginning of the latex, this guy named Theo is all like, "What is the latex?" But then these guys, Orpheus and Synergy, are all like,
"You're in the latex."
And Theo's like, "Whoa." So then Theo learns Kung Fu, and he's all like, "Whoa." Then some kid bends a spoon, and he's all like, "Whoa."
Oh, but then Agent Smith captures Orpheus, and now Theo's like,
"Whoa." So now Theo, Synergy, and load of guns go rescue Orpheus, and it's all like, and till the whole place is like, but then Theo gets shot, and he's all like, but then Synergy's all like, "I love you." And now Theo's like, and Smith is still like, except this time his bullets are like, and Theo's like, whoa. And Smith is like, whoa. And Theo's like, oh yeah, and this one part's all like, the end.
We do it for the kids! For the kids!
When until the Reaper takes my life.
Lucky for you, you are right where you need to be. So sit back, relax, and turn up the volume on your streaming device. Johnny Ballgame, Sir Poops a Lot, and the Fantasy Reaper are about to deliver humor and fantasy gold at the same time. Crush your opponent with a smile. It's Fantasy Sports Island.
Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Island. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good. Good.
Fantastic.
If you're a Bears fan, you might not be doing so good tonight.
There's always next year after a week too.
If you're a Bengals fan, you might not be doing good tonight.
Awesome.
This just happen to be my two favorite teams. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks
I wasn't picking on you.
Nah, thanks for pulling out the Band-Aid, Marshall. It's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, and welcome the People's Champ, Johnny Ballgame.
Gotta be the people's champ because I am not a fantasy champ right now. It's rough out there.
It's week 2. It's early. We all know this. I mean, the same
True
thing
story.
happened last year, and John came storming back. So we're not counting you out, my man. You're good.
Nope. No, I'm good. I'm actually not panicking yet.
You know, that smell, though, that's Tony Serpoops a lot.
That's definitely me.
Your shit came back down to earth this week, huh?
It's hey man, if you look back, the thing I got going for right now is usually the first 3 to 4 weeks. I always look like, just got a pretty good team. Like,
Yeah.
and then it's just done. This year, I already peaked the first week, so either I'm just going to suck the rest of the season or I'm going to get better. I have a feeling I'm going to get better. I like rosters.
Yeah, your team is solid. There's no doubt you'll be back. You just have a down week. And I mean, I had a kind of a low week 1 in our big money league, but I exploded this week.
You think?
That's not going to happen again, guys.
He did explode.
I exploded twice. Just saying.
He exploded and then he exploded.
Again. Yeah. The Fantasy Reaper is happy. Welcome to the show, Fantasy Sports Island. Your inventors of the PPR, you're welcome. If you play in a PPR league, and most of you do, that is because of us right here.
Well,
Absolutely.
if you want to send donations, thanks. Please feel free. Chuck will put the address in the chat.
Link is in the description.
That's right.
Also, if you really want to help out the channel, John, what do they need to do?
Well, they should subscribe and like us for sure. Hit the reminder bell. Bing, bing, bing.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Just smash that like button, subscribe, and if you want to comment.
I'm going to change my name from John Isbell to John Reminder Bell.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm a giver for the show.
He is a giver, guys. He
You're
really
welcome.
is. All right, we got a good show for you tonight. So buckle up, get ready. We're going to come at you with some news. We're going to do our Fantasy Heroes and Fantasy Zeros segments with a little twist this week. And then we're going to close it down with some overreactions. Maybe? Perhaps. We'll ask if we're overreacting to certain narratives going on in fantasy football, and we'll decide if it is an overreaction or if we just need to chill out. All right? Let's get ready for some news and notes. How about that, guys? You ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
First things first, Trey Lance. That was bad. He's out for the season after fracturing his ankle and tearing a ligament. It's Jimmy Garoppolo time again, Johnny. So it's sad for Trey Lance. I had some excitement for him coming into this year. He didn't really produce anything in the first 2 weeks, and now we know he's out for the year, so he's not going to produce. But honestly, I kind of like it for Debo. What do you think, Johnny?
I love it for Debo. I like it for any of your 49ers, and 49ers fans have got to be thinking that John Lynch is the single greatest general manager of all time to pull this off.
To get Garoppolo back on a restructured deal, and then
on a restructured deal,
injury.
And then, usually, and what's weird for Garoppolo is he's usually on the other side of that. He's usually the one getting injured, and then somebody stepping in for him. Yeah, so
Facts.
maybe this year he'll actually stay healthy for a change.
All right, now sorting out that backfield there, I believe the rookie Price got hurt again. So now it's down to I don't even remember his name. What's the guy's name? The other
Jeff
running
Wilson?
back. Wilson, but the other running back now, Mason, might actually get some play. Who are you looking to get on the waiver wire? Are you liking Wilson more, or are you going young with Mason?
Both. Why not? I mean, I like Wilson. He's got some experience. I've seen some good games out of him in the past, so I got a couple shares of him. But I say you better grab both of them. Not that you can play both, but one of them's going to get hurt. It's the 49ers.
I already know what John's going to say. I'll just say it for him. Avoid the backfield.
Yeah. I was going to say I have a contrary opinion on both. Neither.
Yep.
Debo is the best running back you could get in the San Francisco backfield.
That is true. All right. Cleveland Browns running back Nick Chubb did score 3 touchdowns in the game, but scored with just under 2 minutes left, put his team up by 14, and then he admitted after the game that he blew it. He should have just taken a knee at the 1 or got down on his ass. He cost his team the game by scoring that second touchdown. What do you guys think about this, John?
You gotta be smart, man. Here's the thing. The game of football is not just this brute physical thing. You've got to be really smart. And he did. He absolutely cost his team. Now, fantasy owners are like, that was a great touchdown. Thank you. Appreciate it. Football fans all over the world are going, what are you doing, Chubb? What are you doing?
He's been playing too long. I can't. It's just common sense for these guys. I was shocked.
You know, when he actually scored and they went up by 14, I actually thought, okay, it's over. I really did. Under 2 minutes against the Jets with Joe Flacco, you really think the game's not over when you go up by 14 points? I mean, I don't know if I blame him. I don't know if that thought was even in his mind, like, oh, I could just go down and this game's over. I'm not sure that thought hit his mind.
I will say this. The coach should have given that message to the quarterback.
I agree.
If that's what the coach wanted, right? So he's got to take a little bit of responsibility. Now, we don't know. He could have in the huddle said, don't score, and then Chubb's instincts took over and he just scored, not even thinking about it. But either way, you just got to be smart.
You know what else they could have done? Maybe Cleveland could have not let, was it Davis catch a 75-yard touchdown?
Yeah, that would have helped.
And then maybe not allow them to get the onside kick.
Yeah.
And then maybe not let, Joe Flacco just walk him down with Garrett Wilson. I mean,
and you're up by 14. I mean,
come on.
It's not, it definitely isn't all Chubb's fault. I mean,
no.
Should have known better. But then again, the other side was like, dude, we're up 14 with no time left.
You guys can't hold them. You can't hold them from 14 points for under 2 minutes.
Joe Flacco.
I can't believe it, right?
The Flackmeister. Who knew?
All right. Mike Evans has been suspended officially 1 week after throwing a punch in the Saints game. He has this beef with Lattimore. Lattimore pretty much shuts his ass down every time they play. He did go out, catch a few balls for 3 for 63, but then he let him get in his head and he throws a punch. And he says he was defending Tom Brady. I don't know. I don't care. It's stupid. Now Mike Evans is out next week. Yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think? I'll start with you, Tony. What do you think of Mike Evans and his attitude?
Well, he definitely has an attitude. I like guys that want to defend their quarterback, but he didn't need to go, severely. Like, what did he run off the sidelines? jump in the game. Like we all know that's a no-no. So what are you trying to prove? You can make all the excuses in the world, but it just was unnecessary. It's not one of those things again. Like they need you, dude. You already know you're down. Like we had to pick up Cole Beasley today. We don't have enough wide receivers.
Yeah, so not only does he miss the game he throws the punch in, the rest of that game, now he misses next week as well. All the while knowing that they're dealing with tons of injuries at the wide receiver position. It's a selfish move. Selfish move. And I'm a Mike Evans owner in one league, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. Because he had a chance to really save some fantasy weeks this week.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if he was
on
still
his
in
way.
that game, he was having not a bad game against Lattimore. And I think he just used it as an excuse to go plow into this hated rival.
Right.
Yep.
Good job, buddy.
It was an act of frustration from previous, bad games against the Saints, and he let his frustration boil over, and it was done.
For sure.
All right. So, having said that, Tony let the cat out of the bag. The Buccaneers went ahead and signed Cole Beasley to bolster their depleted wide receiver core. Does Cole Beasley have value, John?
Yeah. He's a poor man's Edelman, right? So he can go get open. He can be in the slot. Now, of course, they already have the poor man's version of Edelman with Scotty Miller. But now they've got another one in Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley can get open. Cole Beasley can still catch the ball. And I actually like him for once he gets on the team, because he's just on the practice squad right now, but they're going to elevate him pretty quickly. So he's got some value. I mean, I wouldn't rush out and drop up somebody important for him, but if you got some space at the end of your bench, why not throw him in?
Yeah, if you could stash him, I feel like in 2 weeks, get his sea legs and he'll be ready to go. What do you think, Tony?
Well, that's the thing. Actually, it concerns me for fantasy owners, because I think that is a brilliant idea, because Brady likes dudes like that.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that if he does well, he's going to take away from the other guys. It's already difficult you're hoping from week to week. Mike Evans usually is going to score for you, but you're hoping, hey, is Godwin going to be the guy this week? He's already spread the ball around. So when all those guys are healthy, who's going to play? Yeah. And I have a feeling that he might take some red zone catches or some stuff away from the other guys. Good.
Look at Tony proclaiming that Brady likes dudes like that.
He does.
I mean, he's not wrong. Have you heard of Wes Welker? Julian Edelman. Have you heard of these guys?
Yes, but just the part where he says Brady likes dudes like that. I think I'm going to clip that for the intro, guys.
Yeah.
And it was a good point, Tony. It could take a little bit away from all these guys and make them a little bit less fantasy relevant, and it might help bolster Tom Brady itself. But Tom Brady has been bad, and the bottom line is the offensive line and the lack of weapons. So,
yeah,
John, I think we finally nailed it. I think Tom Brady's finally going to not be a top 5.
We did it, everyone.
We did
it. 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly. I was just after just a decade of claiming he's going to be a demise, now he's finally there.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if you saw this, guys, but police are investigating allegations that a fan slapped Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray in the face following the overtime win over the Raiders. As he ran to the fans, he was getting like high fives, and a bunch of dudes were patting him on the back, and then someone smacked him. And you know what I thought? Royce, was that you?
Right.
Oh my God.
Sunday.
What is going on? Someone just hauled off and pimp slapped the shiznit out of Easy E.
On live TV.
On live TV.
Like he's not gonna, like they're not gonna hunt this dude down. Like, what are you doing?
That guy had to be drunk, right? Like, yeah.
And obviously a Raider fan, right?
Yeah, clearly. I hate you, Kyler.
All right. That was funny. Broncos fans were, this is also funny. Broncos fans were literally counting down the play clock as the offensive struggles continued in Denver's win over the Texans. So because they kept getting delay of game penalties that were costing them yards in crucial situations, the fans were literally counting down the game clock for Russell Wilson so they could get the plays off. That is freaking embarrassing. Nathaniel Hackett is not long for this league, is he, John?
No, he's that's 2 weeks in a row. This is the most auspicious beginning to a coaching career that I've maybe seen in a really long time. Like 2 bad weeks in a row, 2 just not good coaching. It's not good coaching. It's not smart.
Not at all.
Also, the lack of utilization for their best player, Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
He didn't throw him the ball at all.
Why would you? Why would you?
We saw a lot of Gordon in key situations. Again, this guy's going to get fired, guys. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to make it.
When you're
It
wondering.
doesn't look like it. One more game like that, he's done.
I don't know if it'll be that quick, but by the end of the year,
They're not gonna Urban Meyer him because he's not embarrassing, in that way.
he's not getting lap dances from some hot
He
chick.
won't win enough.
Yeah.
He won't win enough
Actually-
to stick around at the end of the year.
Truth is, he actually got a lap dance from Urban Meyer. So there's there's some video going. That's
Were they
right.
both wearing khakis?
Mhm. Yeah, but the only thing is Hackett thought he had more time. So
Nice one.
can't even manage his time on a lap dance. Who knew?
That was the crowd counting down. That's the time
Yeah, the
to bring
crowd's
out-
counting down. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantasy Heroes and Zeros.
Let's do some fantasy heroes and fantasy zeros with a twist this week. This time, I'm going to just list all the guys that were fantasy heroes for all the fantasy world to enjoy. And then we're going to list some guys that were fantasy zeros for all the world to hate. All right? And you guys can just jump in and we'll talk about the situations going on there and, what do we think? All right? But let's start with Justin Herbert because he was the hero of all heroes in fantasy football because the man broke his rib. We thought he was done. He's running out of the pocket and he just throws the ball down on the ground because he's in so much pain. And we all thought, take him out of the game. What did he do? He actually came back into the game and drove the Chargers down for a touchdown, including a 35-yard strike to Carter down the middle seam. It was an amazing pass. To me, that's a hero, man. He came through in fantasy, went over 300 yards. He got 3 touchdowns. Fantasy hero of the week, right?
Yeah, he's a stud.
Now, do we think he plays next week?
I think so.
Sounds like
I think he'll end up playing. So it wasn't a cracked rib; it was cracked rib cartilage. And so while I hate commentators who are like, "When I played," so when I played, I actually did have cracked rib cartilage. It is painful. It's painful. In some cases, they say it might even be more painful than an actual cracked rib. So the fact that dude finished, I got carted to the hospital when I had mine. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like I couldn't hardly breathe. It was painful. That dude, and you could see it, the one pass he couldn't even complete. Like he stood to the ground because he couldn't even raise his arm. And then to come back and hit those 2 passes at the end was just
insane.
It was one of the gutsiest things I've seen in a really long time.
So let me ask you this. For all you fantasy owners out there who have Justin Herbert like I do, how long did it take you, John, to feel comfortable again?
So I skipped the next game and then I was back. So I was 2 games. So it was 2 weeks before I played.
It was about 14 days for you.
Yeah.
Whereas Herbert has 10 days to recover for the next game, so it's possible he plays with some pain.
And I practiced that week, so I wouldn't say it was probably about 10 days before.
And he's
back.
way tougher than Johnny.
And way tougher. Yeah, I was a high school kid. I was 120 pounds soaking wet. So yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
All right, let's go over some of these dudes here. Tua Tagliavoa, 36 of 50 for 469, 6 touchdowns, tied Dan Marino's record for the Dolphins, 2 picks. 28 points in the fourth quarter to come back and beat the Ravens. Is Tua legit, John? Is Tua legit?
He's too legit to quit. I'll tell you that much.
I set you up, you knock him down. Nice.
Yeah. That guy opened some eyes. I actually that was the 2 I kind of expected this year. Like the speed that they have on their team is perfectly built for his skill set. He can hit people on a dime on the run. He's for real. Like if you can get him, trade for him, get him. He's for real.
Tony, we talked about this all preseason. We kept saying don't sleep on Tua. They've surrounded him with speed. He is an accurate quarterback. He just needs a line that can block for him, and they're doing that. I mean,
I got him in a couple leagues for sure. Now, listen, he's amazing. He definitely he looks great. But if he didn't have that speed, I mean, look, Waddle and Hill are getting wide open, and if you can't hit those guys when they're wide open, there's some trouble. So if they start covering those speedsters just a little bit closer, I don't know if those passes drop in like that. I'm not putting down his ability. He's very athletic. He's very talented. They're going to be fine. But you get the right defense, like maybe the Bills or somebody pressuring him, covering these guys better. It's not going to be as easy. But I guess that would go for any quarterback, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I would say this though, like it wasn't just those two guys, right? Like Gesicki showed up.
Yeah.
Mostert was a revelation, right? Like all of a sudden he's catching passes. He's doing better than Edmonds out there. So I think they've got some people who can help and can do some of that underneath stuff. But a Bills defense that rushes like they do is actually, to me, the perfect scenario for Tua because it's quick hitters. Like he can hit those things all day long, and those guys are so fast they can hit those slants.
So you tell me to start him. Sorry to interrupt. You tell me to start Tua this weekend. I got him in a couple leagues. I'm nervous.
Against the Bills?
No.
Who else do you got?
Bills are a different animal.
Yeah. Who else do you have? Is what I would ask that question.
Well,
so.
He's backing up Mahomes in a big league.
Playing Mahomes.
Maybe play Mahomes.
Playing Mahomes.
Yeah.
They're playing like the Colts or something. Got to play Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay. In the same game, though, Lamar Jackson was ridiculous. 21 of 29, 318, 3 touchdowns passing. Also added in 110 yards rushing and another touchdown, a long one. Like, if you're not only are you seeing Lamar Jackson, the guy who was 2 years ago running the ball, you're also getting the passing Lamar Jackson from last year. I mean, you got to be stoked if you have Lamar Jackson right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. He looks like the MVP of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. If he stays healthy and keeps it up, he's the MVP. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a guy named Josh Allen that might say something.
Josh Allen is just he doesn't he's so above MVP. We're not even talking about him.
Josh Allen, let's talk about him. 26 of 38, 317, and 4 tutties, and looked just like he was on cruise control all night long. Just absolutely destroyed the Titans. I mean, is he not the MVP?
Yeah.
This is probably his year to be the MVP if he keeps going in that fashion because he's doing it in different ways. He also is using his legs, but he's just so good.
Oh, God,
he's just so good in every facet of the game. I didn't have to.
And for those of you that took Josh Allen first in your leagues, whatever round it was, it is paying off. He is putting up monster points. He's consistent. I think this continues all year long. I mean, this guy's incredible. All right, Jalen Hurts, a guy that a lot of people took a chance on. He's been great, and he had another great game. And he had a big passing game, 26 of 31 for 333. He only did get 1 touchdown passing, but he dropped 57 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground and carried 3 guys from the 5-yard line all the way to the goal line to score that second rushing touchdown. You got to be happy if you're a Jalen Hurts owner as well because you got him, in the middle rounds.
Yeah, he's got to be the best bargain so far.
I agree. He's the best bargain at quarterback so far. Yeah.
He squats 600 pounds. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, dude.
His confidence and his work ethic, he's like the anti-Kyler Murray. You know what I mean? Like they just talk about how much he studies, how much he's working constantly, how much the people in the building love him, and they're all just playing so hard for that guy.
Royce got to slap easy, and now Johnny gets his turn, right?
I'm sub-slapping him now, too.
I'm not even talking about Kyler, John. Damn it.
I know, but I called last year that he would finish better than Kyler Murray, and I'm about a year late, as per usual. All
right, let's talk about some running backs that went nuts. Aaron Jones, 15 carries, 132, 3 touchdowns. I beg your pardon, 2. 1 receiving, 1 rushing. Also added 3 catches for 38 yards. But a monster game. He pretty much did whatever he wanted to do against the Bears. I Is it the Bears defense or is the Packers like running game that we should be excited about?
I mean, when's the last time Aaron Jones did that?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. So is it the Bears? They're smart if they use him like that. Like I think what they said was, oh crap, we can't just have Aaron go back and throw the ball 50 times because we don't have any receivers. So we better run the ball. And they did. And AJ Dillon looked good too. They both look good. So also Bears defense.
Yeah, I think it's the Bears defense because they couldn't run the ball at all in week 1. So against a real defense. So I don't know.
That was hurtful. Chuck, that was hurtful.
That was hurtful. All right. Nick Chubb, 17 carries, 87 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he was involved in the passing game a little bit, 3 catches for 26 yards. I had Chubb last year, and he let me down, so I totally was dismissing him this year. It was just like, I'm not drafting him. And you could get a lot of leagues, you could get him in the 3rd round. Whoops.
Yeah.
As of now, yeah.
He looks good.
He does. I still don't think he'll keep it up, but he's worth the first 10 to 12 weeks. I'm telling you, dude, I say that every year. 10th, I don't know, 10, 11 weeks, something like that. 11th, is that what am I trying to say? Something will happen. He'll sit down, get hurt. I don't know. But yeah, he looks great. He looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, jump out to a big lead and then hope you can hold on.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey finally came through. 15 carries, 102. Added 4 catches for 26 yards. They're still not utilizing him as much as you'd like as a fantasy owner, especially when like guys like me took him at number 1 overall.
Yeah.
You want to see him get more touches. And I feel like Baker Mayfield is just not seeing him coming out of the backfield at all. Also not seeing DJ Moore, even though he hit him for a touchdown. DJ Moore didn't have great numbers again. Is this a product of bad quarterback play or is it coaching?
He was a bad quarterback play. He was doing great with that same coach. So before,
Yeah. I just don't understand Mayfield. He makes no sense. And this is exposing him more. You take a different team with different weapons, and people like Odell Beckham and those guys have tried to call him out. And I'm starting to believe those guys now. I don't trust Baker at all.
And let's not give the coaching staff too much credit. Christian McCaffrey has been injured the last 2 years under this regime. It was Rivera that really, when he had his monster seasons in Carolina.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's coaching or if it's Baker or if it's both. But I need to see more Christian McCaffrey next week to make me feel a little bit more confident. Even though Jonathan Taylor did not do much this week, and Christian McCaffrey pretty much doubled his point total out for this week, I'm still not sold that I got the right guy. We'll see. All right, let's talk about those 2 receivers in the Ravens Miami game. Tyreek Hill, 11 catches for 190 and 2 bombs for touchdowns. And Waddle also had 11 catches for 171 and 2 touchdowns. Who are we more impressed with, Hill or Waddle? Or are they equal?
I'm kind of impressed with Waddle, to be honest. I don't know. I'm impressed with both of them, but you gotta just be impressed overall with the 28 points in the 4th quarter. But I didn't expect Waddle to be. It's like neck and neck, 20 yards difference kind of thing. I'm excited to see it for Waddle because I thought Hill was going to take over and steal a lot from him, and it doesn't look like it now. Those guys are going to be kind of even.
They both can eat in this offense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it proved to me was like they could both do just fine. They'll both be okay.
All right. Stephon Diggs last night, 12 catches, 148 and 3 touchdowns. Every other year, Johnny.
Every other year.
This
is Diggs' year.
No Gabe Davis, no problem.
No problem.
So it's a freaking Diggs, right?
But also, did the Titans forget who they were playing? Like, how often was Diggs open? And it wasn't like he was running these crazy great routes. He was just open. Anyway, yeah. Diggs is having a fantastic year. Josh Allen's having a fantastic year. I don't know what the Titans were doing yesterday.
Yeah, they seem to be like sagging off of him too far too and allowing him to catch the ball like 6-7 yards off the line of scrimmage and then run. He can run.
Fast. Yeah.
If you took Stephon Diggs if you got him in the 2nd round, you're a happy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You took him in the first round. You're happy, man. Somebody scared him.
So the next guy I feel like is the best value in the draft at the wide receiver position this year, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown. 9 catches for 116, 2 tutties. He also got 2 carries for 68 yards just to add to his total. You're getting him in the 5th, 6th round in most drafts this season. I can't be happier. I got him in almost every league, and I'm thankful. That's all I can say. I'm thankful. Does this continue, though, John?
I think so. I mean, he's really good. He's really good. And I'll admit this. I was not as sold. I thought, well, they're going to get some of the receivers back. They're going to get Hawk and whatever, Hawk and terrible back. I just didn't think he was going to get the many catches, and he's been doing fantastic. So I think he's legit. I think he's a legitimate number 1 receiver, and I think it stays for the whole year. As long as Goff, I mean, again, he's got a quarterback named Goff. So we have to temper those expectations, but I liked him.
He's tied the record for the most consecutive games with 8 or more catches with Antonio Brown. I can't remember who the other person was off the top of my head. Do you guys remember who it was? No. It doesn't matter. It's that's how good he is and how consistent he's been.
Yeah.
Don't forget the last 8 years last season, he was the wide receiver 2, and everyone thought it was because Swift was out and Hawkinson was out, and they had to go to him by default, and that is just simply not true. He's freaking good.
I credit him with my comeback last year.
Oh, yeah. He definitely helped you win the head-to-head.
Oh,
no doubt about it.
Yeah, the defenses, these teams have been more worried, I imagine, from about the running game. Swift is a badass. Williams is excellent, and those teams are worried about those guys, and they're going to let their guard down. So now they got to deal with a great running game and St. Brown. St. Brown's going to get his share for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Cooper Kupp is still good, John. 11
Still
catches, 108, 2 touchdowns. I mean, even though Robinson got some more play this week, it doesn't matter. Cooper Kupp got his. He'll get his every week. We underestimated him. I apologize to Cooper Kupp. He might just come close to what he did last year. I don't think he'll get there, but he's going to come close.
He definitely won't. He won't get there, but he's going to go. Yeah, he's still good. Still good. Still.
He's on pace to break the all-time record in catches, but it's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Garrett Wilson broke out for the Jets. 8 catches for 102 and 2 touchdowns. Everyone's going to go out on the waiver wire and go grab Garrett Wilson. Should they?
I mean, look, I think we should temper expectations, right? I mean, Tony, what do you think? I mean,
I think it's going to
love
change when Wilson comes back. I don't think it's going to be a given he's going to be getting 100 yards a week. I think he might be good with Flacco, and I think it's going to mess things up. Grab him and stash him away, but I don't think that's going to be every week for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it up and down every 2-3 weeks.
Right.
So check this out. So Fields has thrown the ball 28 times this year, total. Joe Flacco's thrown the ball over 100 times.
Wow.
4 times more than Justin Fields. That is why Garrett Wilson did what he did. There's a lot of action in New York playing from behind and letting Flacco just throw a ton of balls. This cannot continue. It's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
For neither Flacco nor Fields, but that's for a different. That's different reason.
True. Last hero, Mark Andrews led all tight ends with 9 catches for 104 and a touchdown. I still think he's the best tight end in football right now, even over Kelsey. I love Kelsey, don't get me wrong, but Mark Andrews is the next guy. He's awesome.
Yeah. He's a Mandrews.
He is the Mandrews. All right. Fantasy zeros. We got to talk about the guys that came up short and pissed off a lot of fantasy owners. There's a lot of them. I don't know how many people played Matt Ryan, but if you did, you totally regretted it. 16 of 30, 195, 0 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. That is a 0, my friends. Literally. He got 0.
It wasn't just that. It was against the Jaguars.
That's
it wasn't like he was against Buffalo or Dallas, one of these really great defenses. It was against the Jaguars.
The Jagoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russell Wilson.
Had him.
14 of 31 for 219 with a touchdown and an interception. I mean, he just doesn't have it. He doesn't look like Russ Wilson from a few years ago. He looks like Russ Wilson from Seattle last year.
Maybe worse.
They got to see the preview of the product, and then they got the exact product. You know?
Yes, they did.
They went, well, let's watch game tape of last year. Nah, that's probably Enigma. He'll be much better here.
Exactly. Tom Brady. What is Tom Brady doing on the zero list?
So nice to have him here.
18 of 34 for 190 and a touchdown. He outperformed, Russ Wilson and Matt Ryan, but when's the last time you could say Brady had under 200 yards and only one touchdown and a poor passing percentage on top of that? It's been years.
And they still win.
And they won. They won, so congratulations for the win. But if you're playing Tom Brady and he's your QB1 most likely, you are not happy. I would consider benching his ass because his weapons are down. His line is terrible. And their defense is good now. They're playing low scoring, like grinded out type games. That's not what you want with your fantasy one quarterback, right?
No, bad.
Here's another guy. I'm going to let you speak on this, Tony. Kirk Cousins, 27 of 46, 221, a touchdown, and 3 picks.
I'm disturbed. Because of my injuries, I'm just gonna say. So I Cousins killed me. I had to play Tannehill, killed me. I had to play Matt Ryan, killed me. And I had to play Russell.
That is a barbershop quartet right there, my friend. That is
destroyed.
You got quadruple fucked on that one, dude.
You got quadded. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
There's nothing left to say. I was shocked with Kirk Cousins.
Me too.
That was a really bad game for them, and the weapons around them were just as bad. And
it's terrible.
Wow.
Johnny needed like 90 points from Jefferson, and we thought he might have a chance. Boy, were we wrong.
He got 10 of them.
Yeah.
Thanks.
High scorer for the wide receiver on the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cordero Patterson came crashing back down to earth. Only 10 carries for 41 yards. Not involved in the passing game. What? Why?
That was weird.
Why? Because he's old? I don't know.
I don't get it. Like the week before, he was like their star.
Weapons. I don't get it.
I think the injury to was it Williams that got injured for Atlanta? They had a plan to kind of go 50-50, and then they had to use all of Cordero, and he went off. But this week they had Tyler Algier active, and they wanted to give the kid some carries, and they did. But man, not involving Patterson in the passing game is just bonkers to me.
Bonkers.
That's his skill. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson really getting 9 carries, 47 yards, 1 catch for 4 yards. He did get more snaps than Damian Harris, but Damian Harris was the much better running back, and he got the touchdown. And then I saw Damian Harris go down with a knee injury, which looked really serious, and I got excited. I'm sorry I got excited. But I think Damian Harris is okay. So is Ramondre droppable?
Well, he's not a starter. He's not dependable. I don't know if you drop him. If you got space, I mean, stash
him. I'd stash him. I wouldn't drop him yet, but
definitely not dependable.
It's more Belichick being Belichick, man.
We thought because Ty Montgomery was placed on IR, okay, now the third down back is definitely available for Stevenson. Nope. You're wrong. We got Belichicked. Yep.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor. Only got 9 carries, managed to get 54 yards, most of them in the second half. Had a catch for 9 yards. I know, Tony. I know. Go ahead.
Dude.
I don't understand.
What else do you want me to list? God damn it. Excuse my language. I just could not ask for a worse week on every team.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't pathetic, but he's the number 1 pick. He wasn't good.
You're going to be all right, Tony, because I think they realize when you get shut out by the Jags and you don't give your number one overall fantasy running back more than 9 carries, next week's going to be different.
Bad things happen.
Yeah. He's going to go off next week. You watch. Yeah. Dalvin Cook. Fuck you, Dalvin Cook. I hate Dalvin Cook. I took him in one league, and he doesn't do shit for me. 6 for 17, really? And 4 catches for 19 yards, really? Freaking Dalvin Cook, man. I'm so disappointed in this guy. I can't say it enough.
Cook brothers really showing out this year, aren't they?
I mean, his brother completely outplayed him this week.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Derrick Henry, 13 carries for 25 yards. He fell in the end zone for a touchdown on 4th down, and we thought, okay, he's in the first quarter, cool. But he did not do anything after that. John.
That was the highlight. And again, I drafted him number 1 in a couple of leagues just because I thought for sure he's gonna make a recovery.
Listen, he destroyed the Bills last year. Destroyed them. And the Bills were shot. Like, we all thought, like, oh, he'll do all right. He destroyed them. And I think the Bills were like I said, they're playing with a vengeance. They're playing with revenge.
Yeah.
They're not going to let anything get by them this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you pick Derrick Henry in the first round, man, you can't be happy these days.
No, because it's not like he went off on week 1.
Oh.
Like,
It was all right.
Yeah. Very average.
Good times are coming, John. I do feel like they'll fix that, although they did lose another lineman last night. But I still think he's coming off the foot injury. He's getting his sea legs. He's going to start to build as the season goes. He'll be all right.
I think so, too.
Jerry Jeudy, 1 catch for 11 yards, and he injured his shoulder or rib. We don't know, but he left the game, so not a hero, but a 0. Juju, 3 catches for 10 yards. Yeah.
I don't have him.
Yeah.
Except in 3 leagues. To be really honest, I wasn't real surprised with that. I took a chance with Juju. I think he's going to have his games, but I don't think it's going to be every week. So it was a risky pick. So I'm not real upset at that.
John, Darnell Mooney, 1 catch for -4 yards. What?
1 catch. -yards.
In the same game, Cole Kmet, no catches again.
No catches. Well, I mean, you mentioned it. Fields has he's thrown 28 times all year. Mooney hasn't gotten any points at all year. Like, I think we're 1.6 for the season so far. He's got to be receiver number 6,023 on the ranking list.
Do you drop him?
I'm thinking about it. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold on for a little bit, but I will say, thought about it.
Devontae Adams only had 2 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown. Luckily, he got the touchdown, but my God. Come on. 2 catches. Your prize guy that you traded for, the big contract. You played college ball with him, Mr. Carr, and 2
catches. Yeah. That'll be remedied this next week.
I don't know who's more of a 0, Devontae Adams or freaking Carr.
Well, good call.
DK Metcalf.
That's the one. By the way, I'm not worried about Devontae. That'll get righted.
It will. I agree.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf, 4 for 35. It's quarterback play. You know, Geno's Geno. And Kyle Pitts, 2 catches for 19 yards. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's come up real small. Starting to worry a little bit about Kyle Pitts. Although I think a get-right game is coming because he did play against 2 good defenses. But I'd like to see it first because I'm getting a little nervous. I thought he was going to be a beast. He's not. He's not a beast right now.
No. He's like every other tight end not named Mandrews or Kelsey.
Tight ends suck, guys. And on
So
that
bad.
note, you know what else sucks? Having to work. Right, Tony?
Yeah, I was just looking at the time.
Tony's
By the way,
out of time.
Before I go, Hawkinson is worrying me.
Yeah.
They should be able to use him on that team. And I mean, I'm okay with Brown getting all the catches, but Hawkinson's disappointing me right now.
Yeah. It's because the bulk of the work's going to Swift and then to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So not a lot left over for the rest of them, but things will change. Don't worry. We're good. Don't give up on Hawkinson.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. I want to thank Tony, Sir Poopsala, for joining us tonight.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, don't leave us yet. Tony's leaving us, but we got more, so stick around. Tony,
Come on.
have a good night, brother.
All right, do well, guys. We'll see you.
All right.
CTB.
Overreaction?
All right, Johnny, it's just me and you. We're going to talk
Go, bud.
about overreactions. I'm going to throw some
Yes.
narratives at you,
Okay.
and you tell me if you think it's an overreaction or if it's justified. Okay?
Okay.
Austin Eckler had another down week this week. He's currently RB17, and his usage, especially around the goal line, is way down from the last 2 seasons. He is not an RB1 anymore. Overreaction?
Justified. I didn't think he was. I thought he was being drafted way too high. Have not had any confidence in him, and he has so far proven me right this year. I feel like it's justified. You should be worried if you drafted him in the first round.
I told y'all, RB3 off the board in drafts, you're going to take Austin Eckler. That was his absolute ceiling in the dream scenario. If you took him there, I mean, you deserve what you get.
That's right. That's right. Because you were just looking at rankings and you weren't looking at the person.
And I want to be honest, this isn't going to change, folks. This is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
They want to keep Austin Eckler fresh for the playoffs. They don't want to overuse him. He's not that type of back. They had to by necessity the last 2 years. This year they brought in some guys. You got Sonny Michel. You got Kelly. They even drafted Spiller. They want to give him rest. They don't want to pound him. Nothing's changing, folks.
Completely agree.
If you could, trade him. Trade him. Maybe someone's stupid enough to give you a guy that they got in the second round, like Swift. I don't know. Who's another running back you got early in the second round that maybe you could get in a trade? I don't know. Just think about it.
Yeah. I would trade him immediately. Like,
Would you trade him for Jones?
Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones.
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
too. I mean, Austin Eckler is still going to be an RB2, but that's what he is. He's an RB2.
Yeah.
All right. New York. Garrett Wilson is the wide receiver to own in New York and not Elijah Moore. Is that an overreaction?
I think it's an overreaction. I think they're going to take turns. I think it's going to be 1 week Elijah, 1 week him. They're both talented. It's a nice young receiving core. It's a shame Zach's not there building confidence with both of them, because that's going to be a really good receiving core with those two guys.
Yeah, and Wilson, when he comes back, which could be next week or the week after, we don't know who he's going to like better. We just don't know. Because Elijah Moore wasn't really his main target when he was quarterback.
Right.
Okay? He did his damage more so with Joe Flacco. And now you're seeing Joe Flacco kind of ignore him a little bit and go to Garrett Wilson more. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I don't know.
So my assumption is everybody's covering Elijah Moore because they saw how good he was last year. Garrett Wilson's just a rookie, just out there. And so they let him go.
Good point.
Yeah. Because Garrett didn't do anything week 1, really.
It's true. That's true.
He's okay.
So could be a little bit of an overreaction. We'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
Travis Etienne is not going to be fantasy productive, at least as an RB2, until an injury occurs to Robinson. Is that an overreaction, John?
I don't think so. I think they are very content letting those guys split carries. I don't think they're using him right yet. It's very strange. It's very strange there.
It is strange. I haven't seen the explosiveness yet that I thought ATM would bring. I haven't seen it.
Again, he's coming back from a season-ending injury too, right? I mean, so we're all thinking about Robinson, but both of them are, and I just think they're kind of working them both back in.
Okay, all right. This one's specifically for you, John. I'm going to let you talk on this, okay? The Bengals' offensive line is so bad, they're on pace to set an NFL record with over 100 sacks allowed in one season. And Joe Burrow, his fantasy value will be hampered by this offensive line. Is this an overreaction?
My gut feeling is telling me they're going to get it right. they're going to get right on this line. I think they're going to gel. I think they're finally going to start to figure some things out. I think they're going to change their blocking schemes, and I think Joe will be Joe. But it is certainly, for those of you like me who are a big believer in Joe and that receiving core and the running back, you're worried, but I don't think I think we're overreacting. First 2 weeks are always weird. I don't think anybody played, on that Bengals team. Any of the starters played. I think they're just finally trying to figure it out. And they've played two pretty good defenses in a row. Dallas' defense was phenomenal.
They have played two good defenses. And like you said last week, Joe Burrow didn't play in the preseason. Yeah. A lot of the guys didn't play in the preseason. Joe Burrow was out with surgery for, appendicitis, right? So he didn't get to connect with those guys. You thought maybe, he had it last year, but still, you got to ramp up to the season. And I think I think he's going to turn it around, and it might not happen this week, but coming soon, I think he's going to turn it around. The timing will get better. Things will get better. T. Higgins coming off a concussion, you started to see him come on in the second half.
You did. And again, it's hard to throw from your back, and he's getting hit a lot right now. And so I don't blame Burrow. I actually blame this line. But again, they were just put together. Lyle Collins came in a little bit later. I just think it's going to take them a little bit of time to get together, because I don't think they played much together in the preseason, which is also hurtful. So I think they'll be fine. I think it's an overreaction.
I'm going to agree with you on that. Well, I don't think Joe Burrow is going to be the number one quarterback. I do think some big weeks are coming. I do.
I do too. Yeah.
All right. The Detroit Lions are an offensive juggernaut. Is this an overreaction, John, or are they really good?
I think they're really good. A lot of skill positions, a lot of good people around golf. A lot of people ate that year that the Rams went to the Super Bowl. There's a lot of really good fantasy football players on that team that scored a lot of good points. And so Goff might not be the greatest quarterback in the world, but he knows how to get the ball to people, and he knows how to get it to them in space. And then they go do the rest. Swift, really good this year. I think we're finally starting to see what that guy can do. We've already talked about Amon. They now think about it. They start throwing to their tight end. They start getting some other people healthy and back. This team's dangerous. You should.
Goff had 4 touchdowns, so that tells you they're pretty good. Okay, and their offensive line is one of the best rated offensive lines in football, if not the best. So they've got a lot going for them. Their defense is bad, but for fantasy purposes, that is good. That is good. You're going to be playing shootouts.
Yeah.
Give me some Detroit Lions. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I know, me neither. I mean, think about it. 3 of the funnest offenses to watch this week were the Jaguars, Lions, and the Jets. When's the last time you said that?
First time that they've all 3 won in the same week since the 90s or something.
I think it's 2005, but
okay.
Still,
that's an over exaggeration.
Yeah.
All right. Bill Belichick. So a couple years ago, when he let Brady walk and Brady went to the Bucs, Brady immediately wins the Super Bowl. Now we said, okay, let's give Bill Belichick time. Okay, give him a couple years to get the parts he wants, replace Brady, etc. They have no weapons at receiver. Mac Jones, I don't know. He hired 2 offensive coordinators that don't know what the hell they're doing.
That have never been offensive coordinators.
Bill Belichick is not the the coaching guru that we thought he was. Is that an overreaction?
I'm not sure it is. I think what we're starting to see is that Brady was more valuable to him than he was to Brady.
Man, when it first happened, I thought they equally needed each other. I thought they were both good. But now I'm really doubting Belichick. He makes some puzzling decisions.
Yeah, I think he had some really good offensive coordinators for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think those are the guys who were really helping them. And
Josh
I think
McDaniels.
Bill's had some good defenses, and he's a really good defensive coach, and he just doesn't have that right now.
They still have a good defense, but offensively they look really, really bad, and they did win their game this week, so we don't want to pounce on too hard. But the offense it was a struggle again.
It was awful.
I don't know if you know this, but the Patriots like had one of the top rushing games in the league last year, and they changed their scheme in the running game.
Yeah.
From what they did last year. Why would you do that?
Especially with those two stud running backs they've got. I would ride those guys like a jockey, man. I just don't understand.
All right. Dallas Cowboys. CD Lamb is overrated, and Noah Brown is actually the receiver to own, at least while Elmo is quarterback.
I just picked him up. I just picked up Noah.
Nice.
Because I totally agree with you. They first of all, they're on they were on the practice squad together. Then they were playing team 2. CD's way overrated. CD's not done anything. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but we were disappointed with him last year. And we thought, okay, well, this year it's his team. Get rid of Cooper, whatever. Cooper's catching some passes over in Cleveland, and CD's not doing crap.
I totally agree. I had CD Lamb last year, and I remember the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, he was almost a ghost out there. Yeah. He did very little, almost cost me my championship. And this year, he started off kind of the same way. Like, he's out there, but he's not really doing much. He's like a ghost.
Not getting open.
And Noah Brown's getting open, so it's not like they're not scheming guys open. It's CD Lamb's not doing his job.
Yep.
I think if you drafted CD Lamb in the 2nd or 3rd round, whatever you got him, you're probably pretty disappointed today. And God,
huge disappointment.
I wouldn't drop him, but I mean, I wouldn't. If you had like 3 or 4 better receivers, I wouldn't blame you for dropping them.
No, for sure. Totally. Yeah.
All right. Last one. The Mitchell Trubisky era is coming to an end very shortly, and we're going to see Kenny Pickett. Is that an overreaction?
No. Listen, I was a Trubisky-er. I was a truist. I thought for sure he's kind of got that temperament for Pittsburgh. He's, his name's Trubisky. He just feels like a Pittsburgh guy. He's mobile. He can run, but all he's doing is checking down. He's become check down Charlie. They've got too much talent in that receiving core. They've got too much talent at the running back. The line's not great, but I think it's gonna switch over to Pickett because they've got a good team that can win right now. Their defense is good. They've got everything, and the quarterback's not playing right.
Yeah. And the offense is so anemic with him. I mean, Najee's hurting.
It's vanilla.
It's real bad. Pickens is not catching any balls like we thought he was going to be. It might be time for Pickett to Pickens.
Yeah. He has one more game like he had last week. I think it'll be time.
Even though Pittsburgh's 1-1, they feel like they should be 0-2. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah. Because honestly, the Bengals threw 5 picks. And they barely beat the Bengals. 6
turnovers, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Johnny Ballgame, the People's Champ.
I'll tell you what, I had a good time tonight. Reed, always fun, man. Thanks for running the show, for leading us in the questions to the promised land. Always good, man. Let's ring this bell for Reaper. Come on.
Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We appreciate your support. The channel is growing strong, and it's all because of you guys, so keep it going.
Love it.
Share our videos with your friends if you like. It's fantasy football. It's fun, damn it. It's fun.
Put some suggestions for segments you want to see in our comments too, man. Let's get some stuff. Let's get some fan-generated content.
Fan-generated content. I like that.
Don't make me use technical terms because I'll do it. I'll do it, Chuck.
All right, guys. So next week, we'll talk about week 2, recap it for you, and we'll get you prepared. Excuse me, next week, we'll be recapping week 3, and we'll get you prepared for week 4. My God, time flies. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week, and aloha.
Aloha. Peace.